Good evening, folks, and welcome to Old Trafford, the old traditional stadium. We're here for a World Cup final between Samoa and New Zealand. It's been a long time coming for both of these teams. Samoa, of course, the emerging powerhouse. New Zealand are the experienced team. They've been here before, and they got class all the way through. A bit of a grudge match for New Zealand. Samoa's got a couple over them in the past few seasons, which is a bit unusual considering the quality golf that you might see between these two sides. But somehow Samoa just always get up for this game. And I'll tell you what, I'm very excited to see what happens here tonight. World Cups don't come around too often. And just to make the finals an outstanding achievement, to win it even better. I am Snicko Bro, joined in the box by Anthony McDonald. Both of us not lucky enough to be picked in any team for this one. So we've been watching the whole way through. AMAC, who have you liked as this tournament's gone on?
Well, it's hard to go past the dominance of New Zealand in their pool stage. They were phenomenal. Every single game, almost a blowout, and it looked like they were basically on a training run every single game. Having said that, on the other hand, Samoa was basically the same. Both of these teams absolutely dominated their pools, so this is going to be one hell of a game tonight, I think, Snicker.
Yeah, the New Zealand pool was a bit men against boys, wasn't it? They were just doing big things all the way through. As John Boymaava, we'll speak about him in a second, just gets absolutely leveled in the tackle there. John Boy, almost player of the tournament. He'd be in contention for Golden Boot at least on the short list, and he switched himself to the 12. How do you think that's going to pan out tonight? Of course, he's up against the 95 speeding Damien Moana in the 11, Anthony. Do you think it's the right move?
Well, personally, I don't think it is, but oh, there.
Good
Oh,
kick.
well, Harry's excellent kick. This is either going to be a hero's knock for John Boy, or it's going to be an ultimate villain arc because, as you said, he was phenomenal at fullback. Moving himself to the second row, you've got to think that is a strategic move there from John Boy Snicker.
Oh, I sure hope it was. I hope he's done it for a reason as Ua goes for a little bit of a run there. I think that yeah, you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a second rower. That's what John Boy's found out, and he's just come off his head there. So not the start that he would have wanted. And then Moana breaks a couple of tackles to get going. The New Zealand team list, it's been pretty settled the whole way through. I think it's probably the best one they could run out. Do you agree, Anthony?
Yeah, when you got Bunsey up the back, he's been lighting up the field, as is a freelancing here and there as a half, but he's a natural fullback, and any other position, it's just not our grey fox out the back there. And when you've got the likes of Manu off the bench, who you'd like to think is going to, if not rotate into the fullback spot, then at least rotate something solid into the back line. I've not seen a New Zealand team this strong in many, many seasons, Nicker.
Yeah, quite a while. We spoke about Samoa's emergence. New Zealand have had a resurgence under the captaincy of Damien Moana, especially this tournament as they look to put in their first kick of the night, and it's a knock-on, unfortunately. Kausikat cleans it up. So both teams just firing a few sort of nervous early shots there as Lenny Phillips gets absolutely flexed by Jamal Kausikat. That's his second one tonight. He's counting victims, it looks like. Sabbath Du'a goes through a bit of a run now, and I think the Battle of the Forge is going to be huge. Samoa, they have Tu'ua. They have Kota Diab at hooker. They have, of course, John Nanai in the 13. New Zealand, though, they got players to match that and to go above. It's going to be a tough one for Samoa.
Yeah, with when you've got Tiawa in the 12, one of the players who basically revolutionized that center into the second row position, Johnston, Moana in there. These are all, or almost all of them, are season one veterans, and it's going to be a little bit sad tonight because for most of these boys, this is their last hit out officially in SRL 1.0.
Yeah, for exactly half of them, you'd have to think, of course, there's an exhibition match against Australia for the winner of this game. So at least 17 of them get to play again. But you're right. For everyone, not just these players, the season 10 hiatus is drawing to a close. We'll be on SRL 2.0 soon, but the final hurrah has not yet been sung. And both of these teams are going to be knuckling down for the next 73 minutes to try and come away with some silverware. It's Al Matangi there. He pushes forward. He's been good in the 7 throughout this tournament. He's just a natural football player, it seems. You can stick him anywhere. And now it's Tiawa through a big hole. And he's offloaded to absolutely no one. Dane Blaine comes up with it. Tiawa popped off his right-hand side there. He sort of swung through the middle of the field and maybe back to the right for him. got a bit lost in the middle and tried to throw that ball away. And so far, New Zealand, they've had the field position. They haven't been able to execute yet. And now it's Nanai going for a bit of a run up the middle. I think that he's going to have a big role to play tonight, especially with the 99 speed in the 12. You get a bit more flashes of brilliance out of them, but maybe not the same meters you get from a stronger forward, and definitely not the same tackling output. So Nanai's going to have to try and pick that up with the likes of Sabathua and, of course, Lennox Prakash, I believe, who is in the 8. I don't think we've spoken about him yet, but another class player, as a quick wither goes downfield and almost fumbled there by MBT, but he comes back with some gusto. Brought down 21 out from his own line, and it looks like Samoa have sort of settled into this one now, Mac.
Yeah, although I am a little bit surprised at how sloppy both of these teams are playing tonight.
Scratch that. Barnes breaks 5 tackles, goes 25 out from the Samoa line. They just couldn't get hands on him. He's in greased up in baby oil there. That's a ridiculous run from probably the all-time best fullback, I would say, across the whole entirety of SRL 1.0. He's been there, done that, just about everywhere. Of course, a former Golden Boot winner himself. Could he go back-to-back here? We'll have to wait and see, as now Damien Moana finishes up this set with a nice little drive towards the line. They'll get in position to kick here, and it could be a pretty dangerous one. It goes to Hugh Snow, and he puts a very good grubber in. Filippo Gould in the 10, dives on it, and that's early points to New Zealand. Hugh Snow, of course, recalled for this campaign by Damien Moana to play in the 6, and he's been terrific, and he's got him off to a great start here.
Yeah, and of course, just as I was about to say how sloppy these two teams have been so far tonight, New Zealand pull out something absolutely special there for Filippo Gould to go over. What turned out to be a little bit of a training knock for both teams is turning into a little bit of a surprise here for Samoa.
Yeah, New Zealand just clicked into gear that set. You could see it. Bunts first. Moana finished up on tackle 5, and then Hugh Snow said, "Give me the ball," and watch the magic happen. A perfectly placed grubber. If you were lucky enough to watch Origin last night, I think we saw one of them the whole night. The kicking was atrocious. So who knows? Just sort of set us right here, and hopefully this will be a good game all the way through, Anthony.
Yeah. Now, which of these two teams do you reckon would be probably the best team to go up against Australia next game, Snicko? Would a Australia-New Zealand game to round out the SRL be at best, or is the young minnow Samoa probably the best to come up against Australia next game?
I think that whoever does turn up, they're going to have a red hot crack. But the Australian team, they're pretty classy. We'll have to wait and see who Sonny Ty names. Perhaps we can do a bit of keep and cut later on, Mac.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think that, look, you want to see Australia, New Zealand just for the heritage and the history, but it would be exciting to see Samoa poke their way through, win a grand final, really cap off what's been a great couple of seasons for them in SRL 1.0. So I think either way, there's no wrong answer there. Both of them would certainly really push Australia, as Samoa, while we're speaking, have just put together quite a nice defensive set here. 4th tackle, and New Zealand not quite yet out to their 40. It's going to come down to Kausikau to try and do it, but he can't. So they've knuckled up well after conceding some early points to Samoa, and they're trying to keep New Zealand in their own half, force the kick return, see what the likes of Komeni, I think that's Michelle Metcalf out there, it is, can do. And he's straight past one. Michelle Metcalf tries to turn Bunts inside out, but the old Fox doesn't let the young chook get around him that easy. He brings him down about 45 out from the line. As now Nanai goes for it, and he gets a palm off here. Nanai into the backfield, meets his old friend. They played many seasons together at the Warriors. Brought down on the 20. Bunts making back-to-back tackles. Now a short ball to South Tua. If they could have got a line break there, it would have been very dangerous for New Zealand. Now Samoa, they're looking right. That's where they go. Dane Blaine goes right to the line, throws a pass. That's good. Komene out to Metcalf. He beats a couple into the backfield. Arira Komene is going to be brought down 2 meters from the line. Only 4th tackle. They're going to have 2 to play with. He goes to Kota Diab. He's going to fall over the line. Kota Diab, I think he's got the first points for Samoa. As we see, celebrating the background.
Oh, and I think the defense was just a little bit surprised to see Diab running at them. He's got the number 9 jersey on tonight, so he should have been collecting the ball out of that play the ball situation, and instead he's the first one to get over for Samoa. So as much as New Zealand looked like they were dominating, it is game on here, Snicker.
Yeah, Diab historically and classically a lock or a prop. He does know how to run the ball, that's for sure. And now it'll be up to John Boy to kick. He's had some yips throughout his career, but he has also had 2 weeks ago the biggest point game in SRL history, 28 points. I don't think he missed a kick. Last week, he was terrific as well with the boot. So he's come good at the right time, and the captain will be quietly pleased with himself at the moment. 6-all after 15 minutes is exactly where Samoa want to be. If they can just stick with New Zealand for as long as they can, there'll be a time that they have to take their chances, and so far they are. They've been down the field once, scored a very nice try. New Zealand, on the contrary, have been camped in Samoa's half for probably the first 14 of these 15 minutes, and to come away at only 6-all, they'll be wanting more from this, as now it's a quick with it. He goes to Rahul Kaval and he drives forward. Of course, I think he had a bump off earlier in the game, so he's finding a bit of space early on. Right again now, Sabbath Dua, wasn't expecting that one, but it doesn't matter because he goes straight past one anyway. I think it was Thomas Wallace. He's brought down a good 20-meter run there from Tua. Left now, Rahul Kaval straight to the line. He's through into the backfield. Tiawa's chasing him. He's brought down eventually. Wallace again, I think, made that tackle. They're doing it tough here at the moment. Now Dane Blaine out to my other. Wishes he had his sidestep on there, but instead he just punches that one forward. 25 out from the line. A great set after points from Samoa. What can they finish with? Simon Hunt gets absolutely folded. Simon Hunt. He's a second rower. He's found himself in the centres, and I think he wants to be back in the forwards the way he got hit just then. Kausakia, shoulders of absolute steel, AMAC.
Oh, you love the big boys putting those hits on Snicko. I think it's only really one of those metas that have come out about the end of SRL 1.0, and it's always exciting seeing one of those. And look at this momentum shift already. Samoa, they were on the rebound and they looked like they were ready to score another one. And here we are already up the other end with New Zealand and the Silver Fox up over the 30.
Yeah, that's exactly right. New Zealand just jumped on that one and took all the momentum with him. Kobe Johnson now gets absolutely leveled. Sabbath to Ua. I think that one was the big boys have come out to play, and it'll be up to the backs now. What can Common do? Come down with it and a bit of space. But no, he's brought down. So yeah, all the forwards are getting involved nice and early on, which you like to see. They're going to go off shortly, and you got to think New Zealand have the edge on the bench. That's just without being mean to Samoa. I think that's just an objective statement that New Zealand, they're the bigger country and they have a bit of class on the bench. But if the Samoan props can come out with the same kind of fire that they're starting have shown, it could be very dangerous. As now it's Tua again. One thing I would say, AMAC, I might have to. Oh, Nanai just gets hit again. Kausakia is on a tear at the moment. But sorry, sidebar. Is Lennox Prakash on the field, AMAC? Can you check team sheets for me quickly?
Prakash, he should be on in about 30 seconds, Snicko.
So who's the starting 8 for Samoa? Oh,
Starting
Kaval,
8
of course,
is
of
Kaval,
course.
yeah.
Apologies, Lennox Prakash. I was waiting for you to make an impact. Of course, you're not on the field yet, so very hard for you to do so. Interesting move from John Boy. I saw Lennox was in the 8 last week. I suppose when John Boy goes to 12, the positions get shuffled around, Mac? Is that how you would surmise that?
Yeah, and well, I mean, you would know Snicko, having Prakash coming off the bench with your final days there at the Dolphins. He can be one hell of a bruiser when he's coming up against some of those tired middles.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so perhaps I spoke too brashly. New Zealand don't have quite the edge that I thought they would in the next 20 minutes. There's now Kobe Johnson, 2 passes out to Hugh Snow. And that's not a very well-placed bomb, just a little bit too shallow. Now Metcalf into the backfield. Mashaw Metcalf shut the gate. He'll go the next 50 meters here. That's coming out of absolutely nothing. The bomb was just a touch too short. And Mashaw Metcalf, there was absolutely no pressure on him. He's one man that has been shining. Season 9 and Season 10, he's come into his own. And on the biggest stage of World Cup final, he's just gone 100 meters to put Samoa in the lead.
Yeah, Metcalf, he's been playing at the Bulldogs for quite a few seasons, and he's always been a little bit overshadowed by some of the outside back big names that they've had at that team. But on this international stage here, he has absolutely blown away that competition. So that's excellent to see.
Yeah, I think he might have started at the Panthers and then, transferred, as you said, mostly being a centre. This season, he was coming into his own on the wing, and that's exactly where Samoa have put him. And he's just put Samoa up 6 points. He's repaid the faith in a grand final. Moana has to kick off now for the second time this half. Not at all what I was expecting. Do you think that maybe the air's just gone out of the New Zealand crowd a little bit, AMAC?
Well, I'm definitely sure that they were not expecting this at all. The big brother is supposed to be here to dominate their little brother of Samoa, and well, that is not what's happening at all.
Yeah, and Samoa, it was a great set after points for them as well. If you cast your mind back after that first try, they're going to look to do it again as Lennox Prakash with his first hit up of the game. And I think that he's one man that can definitely put those shoulders to good use, knows how to put on a big hit, as does Lucky Tua. So, yeah, I was a bit brash, I believe. This Samoan bench, quite strong after all, as now they're going to go left here, out to equip with it. He goes to Jai Collins. He's brought down on about the 40-metre line. So New Zealand have done their homework. They realised after their first try that Samoa squad, they need to do a bit of damage. And now Coda Diab should have played that sometimes plays in the prop jersey, really have his kicking license, Mac?
As New Zealand almost kick it up. It's hard doing those 40-20s. I don't know why Diab should have been in dummy half right then collecting that ball, and somehow he found himself not there and picking up the pass. So you got to think some of these changes for a team that has dominated all internationals, there might be some hiccups here, Snicker.
Yeah, some misconnections as New Zealand now. They're going to look to crash over. It could be Hodgson. Fresh on the field. There's no one around his legs. Hodgson forces that one down. I think that was his first touch. We're going to have to go up. Will Kay, the video referee, but I believe that was a try. I think one thing to mention, AMAC, just on our misconnections, Diab's been at 9 for a while. He should be knowing better than that.
Yeah, that's true. Talking about Hodgson bumping over, he is a season 1 superb veteran. So the fact you've got the depth of him coming off the bench for New Zealand, that is one hell of a danger zone. As well as you got Barner in the 15. So New Zealand probably have the edge, maybe just by a little bit. Depending on how this goes, we might have a tied game so far against Nico.
Yeah, Moana, he's put the pressure on himself in the grand final to kick the goal, and that's a tough thing to see. He's taking the responsibility. Unfortunately, yeah, that's 12 points to 10 now to Samoa after that missed conversion. It's going to be John Moyaba to kick us off. So both the captains are getting a bit of work out of their right boot early on. 15 minutes left to go in the half here. Both teams, it was a nervous start. We'll say that. Both teams, they were a bit jumpy. They made a few sort of silly errors and didn't maybe complete their sets the way they wanted to, but they've definitely settled in now. And at 12 points to 10, this is absolutely anyone's game. As Hodgson now is brought down about 12 out from his own line. A nice run off the kickoff. It's going to be Wallace at half. He's looking right. He goes left. Hugh Snow, ball plays out to Moana. And I think that one thing that is big from Damien Moana as the captain, he could have put himself at the 12. Sorry, at the 13. As Bunce goes for a little run here, brought down eventually by Jai Collins. Yeah, back to Moana. He could have put himself at the 13 or the 9 or even the 6. He excels everywhere, but he's done the right thing by his team. Put himself into the 11. Let the likes of, I think it's Kobe Johnson, the 13, Hugh Snow in the 6, really shine throughout their campaign. And I think it's just one thing that should be highlighted by him. As Bunce goes through again, is there anything this man can't do? He's going to be brought down on the 20-metre line. Kick to come here from Samara. Goes to Hugh Snow. That's a well-placed bomb. They're going to look for the tap back here. No one takes it and combinates into the backfield now. The kick chase for New Zealand is absolutely diabolical at the moment. That's a try gone begging, and they've also let Samoa pinch off 30 metres out of absolutely nowhere, AMAC.
You know what I'm seeing tonight so far, Snicko, is that in New Zealand, it's their Season 1, Season 2 veterans who are dominating. But for Samoa, it's the Season 4, Season 5, Season 6 boys that are really stepping up and taking it to the old men. So here we are. We're up over the 40, and they've still got lots of space they can cover. Although New Zealand, they finally switched back on again, Snicko.
Yeah, you look at, if you just want to really highlight that, you can look at the halves from Samoa. They have equipped with it and Dane Blaine. Dane Blaine doesn't even play half for his club, but he's stepping up for his nation right now, up against Hugh Snow. He's not a season 1 member. Tyler Amatangi, he's been around for quite a while. So you'd think there'd be a golf in class and quality there, but the Samoan, are they even called rookies anymore? They've been doing it for a while for Samoa now. And they're doing it again here tonight. Just great work from them. Jumbo Ma'ava's got his team absolutely firing. As now it's Tiawa taking what is working out to be a rare touch for him tonight. Hasn't seen a lot of ball. Now out to Hodgson. He can't repeat his earlier heroics. Push backwards there and a good 2-man tackle, but a quick play of the ball gets him a bit of momentum. It's Almatangi inside ball. Bunce, for the first time tonight, has not broken the line. Samoa finally figured out you got to tackle him before he runs past you. Now it's Almatangi right to the line before he throws the ball off to Hugh Snow. The Dolphins teammates are linking up there. A really nice run from Hugh Snow. You don't often see that from a 5'8". And a held in tackle penalty here. This could be their chance to go equal. What will they do? They're going to go for the try. The nuts on Damien Moana. He doesn't want to level. He wants more points, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame him really. It's in front of your home team, so you want to get back in the lead as much as possible. And they haven't been playing conservative all season. Why start now?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. If you want to, you got to risk it for the biscuit, as they say. As now Hugh Snow plays a short ball, it works its way all the way out to Bunty Campbell. I thought Bunce there, he was just chiming in on the short side. I could have ran himself, but maybe just sort of sequencing that defense. He'll go wide a couple of times before he cracks back inside. It's Moana now driving forward. Third tackle from New Zealand. They've worked into a good position here. Could it be a crash play? Oh, it could be a crash play. It's Barner who scores. One of those veterans you've been talking about, Anthony, fresh on the field. And he just shrugged off a tackle like there was nobody there to score a great try for New Zealand.
And here is a man who absolutely bleeds the black and white. He's been playing for the Warriors for as long as he possibly can. Moved around a bit towards the back end of his career,
Tiger.
but Barner,
Wow.
yeah, moved over to the Tigers. But Barner, when you think about New Zealand, you think about Barner, and again, there he is crossing over in what could be, or could not be possibly his first or last game.
Schrodinger's SRL game. We don't know until we see the score. Anyway, New Zealand up 16-12 here, and I think that's probably a fair reflection of this game. Samoa, they pulled two rabbits out of the hat to keep in touching distance of this one, but they're going to have to fix up their middle defense. Chance Bunce has been sublime tonight. He's been on an absolute tear, and he's just getting them out of trouble over and over again. If New Zealand don't if Samoa don't tighten up their middles and stop getting picked on by Chance Bunce throughout pretty much from trial to trial, and he's doing it at all ends of the field. They're going to be in a bit of trouble as this game goes on, as Hodgson is brought down there. And that's now both starting props, Anthony, for New Zealand have scored a try. Both interchange props, sorry.
Yep. And well, that's just a shot across the bow for if New Zealand do come into the game against Australia next week. Do the bench props start instead of the likes of Cascow and Filippo Gould instead?
Well, Filippo Gould also scored. So it's been tries from
Oh,
three props, and Kausigo had the shoulders out, so I wouldn't be benching him either. He was doing big time damage. So I guess you could just say those four players have all really had an impact, and the props from Samoa just sort of need to match that. As New Zealand, they don't quite get to an attacking kick, but they are going to be kicking from inside Samoa's half, and it's Matangi downtown. He goes to Lenny Phillips, hasn't had a lot of chances with the ball, and a good tackle there. He just gets absolutely punished backwards. So Samoa are going to have to work a bit here to get out of their own half, and he goes to Diab. He likes to run this hooker, that is for sure. He doesn't mind letting someone else get to the ruck, and he takes the hit up. Anyway, now Comine goes to quit with it. He goes out to Dry Collins. That's one man who can make an impact. Another season one veteran, I believe. He's in that 11, so if you can get to even a little bit of space, just watch him run. But so far, David Tiawa's had him lined up pretty well all night. And Samoa here, they might look at a 40-20. It's a quit with it. That was a step inside his 40. Is it going to bounce out here? That is an absolute masterstroke.
oh,
I think he was at the Storm to finish his career. That is an absolute masterstroke.
and not only was he at the Storm to finish his career, he was playing centre at the Storm to finish his career, Snicko. So that is a superb kick there from the young man.
Yeah, absolutely terrific. And now Samoa back on the attack. They could pinch this one. 4 minutes to go till halftime. They could go into halftime with a lead. Should they play well? This is good here. Nanai's going to fall over the line. And just like that, Samoa are back. You got to think John Boy converts this for a 2-point lead. Samoa, they've had nothing. Their chances have been almost non-existent, and almost every single time they get down here, they score. So whether New Zealand are great through yardage, they just haven't been letting Samoa down here, or whether their line defense has more holes than a piece of cheese, I'm not sure. But one thing's for sure, we have a game on our hands.
And it had to be Nanai. Nanai, who has played lock for almost every single season that I've been in the SRL, who has basically defined what a lock forward is supposed to be, starting as a forward archetype. That man is dangerous, that man is scary, and that man is powerful.
And that man was also snubbed by New Zealand to play in this Samoan team. So has a bit of a point to prove tonight, and literally carrying them on his back over the try line is what Nanai did right there. So with 4 minutes left in this one, until we get into the break, both teams, they're firing at the moment. Whichever team I think gets their defense sorted is going to go a long way to winning this one, because at the moment, it's all out attack, as Moana's going to kick us off again for the fourth time in this half, unexpected. And it'll be Lennox Prakash to take the hit up. And he goes past one Lennox, but some good cover defense there from Kobe Johnson to bring him down. So all the forwards really come into play here. Quit with it, goes through a bit of a run. I think probably Bunce has been the best back on the field by a country mile. But apart from him, neither team have really got firing in the back line. So maybe that's something they would look to change at halftime. I'm not sure. Anyway, and we shouldn't forget a Quit with it, hit that monster 40-20 to put Samoa in with a chance there. As now Jai Collins gets an offload away to Lucas Deuce. He's brought down just about on the halfway line as we see some players run on the field for Samoa. He goes so quick with it. That pass look forward doesn't matter. Jumbo Maava into the backfield. Jumbo Maava gets the offload away to Sabbath Dua. If he pushes forward here, there's a chance for a bomb here for Samoa. It'll be the last time they touch it this half. I'll have to see what they do. It's Nanai who just runs it instead. Oh, you offload. Caval brought down 15 out from his line. Not the worst thing to do. We saw how well Chance Bunce was returning the ball earlier. And with a minute left in this half, they'll just tighten up their defense and go into halftime with a lead, Anthony.
Yeah, Samoa might be the young kids on the blocks, but that is one hell of a smart footy IQ move. Just turning it over conservatively on the 20 and not giving any of those outside backs a chance to scream off down the field for a runaway try. So if the second half is anything like this half has been Snicko, it is well worth the wait.
Yeah, definitely. As MBT is going to be brought down there, he'll play it just. This will be our last play here. Tiawa will be brought down, and that's 18 points to 12. Samoa lead New Zealand. See you after the break. Welcome back, folks, to a very tightly contested final here. The two best teams all tournament have been absolutely taking it to each other for 40 minutes. 40 minutes left in this one to see who takes out the glory and who takes home the cup here tonight. Samoa so far up by 2 points, but anything can happen here. Anthony, we had a look at the stats at halftime. What stood out to you?
Well, aside from Barner's 4 run meters for his try for New Zealand tonight, which is phenomenal so far for a quality output for a young player, you've just got to look at Bunce. He is by far and away stripping everyone else out there on the field. If you're looking at New Zealand's run meters, he's got twice as much run meters as the next closest New Zealander. So if that man does not get golden boot by the end of this tournament, then I will hang up my hat and retire straight away.
Yeah, of course. I think anything barring a John Boy exceptional second half performance would just about seal it for Bunce. Anyway, in terms of substitutions, Anthony Delaney on the field in the number 13 for New Zealand. He's been doing it for a while. He's been revolutionary this tournament, really. He's been phenomenal. Do you think that'll continue tonight, Anthony?
I think so. He's really found his place in this team in the position that they've been playing him in, which is a bit of a return for form. He's had a little bit of a struggle the last couple of seasons, or the
That was
last season
Ford.
at least.
That was Ford. Sorry to cut you off, Mac. They
No,
just
it's
thrown
okay.
a huge forward pass to Common. But yeah, Delaney forgot how to kick for a while, so they've stuck him in the lock where all he has to do is run.
And hasn't he blossomed there? So it's one of the reasons. I think his last game was basically a Delaney masterclass. So if he can continue doing that tonight, that is going to go a long way to making sure New Zealand win.
Yeah, and of course the New Zealand other substitution was Rakamano onto the Sting. So I have to see what he can do. As I think this could even be him chasing it down. No, it's Bunce who takes it, and actually he might be on the other wing anyway. Rika. Anyway, Samoa they brought Us Willis into the fold and Josh Pretlove. Any of those players catch your eye to make an impact tonight, Anthony?
I like Pretlove there, but I don't think he's really utilized the way he should be. Coming off the bench into bench center is always going to be a hard slog for a forward. So hopefully he's at least got the defensive output to keep the streaming off down the sidelines quiet for tonight.
Yeah, I think that's about all you can ask for from a bench center. They keep their tackling well. As now it's New Zealand, Filippo Good, his second line break this set, goes off to Delaney. He's brought down about 19 out from the line. So they want this lead back and they want it back fast, New Zealand. That's not how you do it. Filippo Good takes it. Can he get it offload? He can. It's Thomas Wallace who's going to be brought down about 15 out from the line. So a bit of a bungled end of set there from New Zealand. Unfortunate for them because they went 80 meters in that one and really put themselves in a good position. And now it'll be Samoa to try and do some damage with the ball. Us Willis, his first touch of the game is not a good one for a negative 2 meter gain there. As now they go right again. Dane Blaine, he finds a little bit of space there, but brought down eventually by Moana, the New Zealand captain, trying to keep his team in this game for as long as he can. Now he goes to Maiava. He's brought down on the 40 meter line. Do they look at a 40-20? Probably not. It might be a tackle early for them to take the chance to slow play the ball. They go right again, working a short side out to Pretlove. Gets the footwork on. He's brought down eventually, though. Now a 40-20? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. They go short side again. Michelle Metcalf He beats one, brought down a good tackle though. Samoa couldn't really get in the meters they wanted that set. They're going to need a good kick and, more importantly, a good kick return. And unfortunately, John Boy's pink headgear has just gotten in the way there. Willis cleans up. But that is definitely a win to New Zealand, Anthony.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a choke there for Samoa. You can see the inexperience of some of those boys out there, just sort of getting in the way and being a little ahead of where the pass should be. They're getting away with a lot of line balls tonight, Snicko, and I think the refs, they're keeping their whistle in their pocket for tonight's crowd.
Yeah, let the boys play is what I heard in the pre-match briefing, and it seems like they've done that so far tonight as Tara Maxwell goes through a bit of a run, brought down by former Bulldog teammate of his, John Mo'afa, as now Houston plays a short ball off to Takakakau. I really like Houston's game tonight. He's been on the ball a lot, getting over the advantage line and just sort of playing short passes inside and out. He's had a few line break assists, which is pretty handy for him as Delaney got that one a bit flat-footed. Now it'll be Houston to kick. A nice one downfield to Michelle Metcalf. He's already got one runaway try. Can he do it again? Past one. Bunce gets in, though. 30 meters out from the line. A good place to start the step for Samoa. But they're going to need some of their big boys to stand up here. They go to Dane Blaine. Oh, and he gets hit again. Jamal Kausakau, stop that before you hurt someone. Nanai now goes for a bit of a run. Dane Blaine, he's brave. He runs again. I would not be doing that if I was him, especially after how his last one went. Now they go left again. Equipped with it. Short ball, Willis, offload. Coda Diab, a lot of passing, not a lot of output. Unfortunately, all of those were negative results. So New Zealand are starting to tighten the screws here. They're going to kick from deep in their own half. Dane Blaine, a good clearance kick, I think, but Bunce gets it on the first bounce and beats one. Bunce into the backfield. Barrera Comedy gets him. Only just though. And once again, New Zealand starting their setting great field position. This is starting to look dangerous for Samoa, do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, I was about to say earlier that I want to see more from Kamene. I want to see a few more runs from a fullback. He's not really had much attacking effort tonight at all because he's spent so much time chasing down bunts in the backfield.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's done well. Bunt hasn't scored a try yet, even though he's had, I think, 6 line breaks at half time. So great work from him. But one thing that we mentioned a couple of times, the Samoan forwards just need to tighten up. They've done a lot of not so good work in conceding line breaks to chance bunts. And if they don't fix that, New Zealand will keep getting their chances. And I don't think all of them are going to end as their last two have with missed fifth tackle attempts. There's too much class in this New Zealand team. And if you keep inviting them down into your own end, they're going to make you pay. As Samoa now, they're liking this short side. They seem to be trying to get at Houston, maybe trying to tire him out. I'm not sure. But he's been making a couple of tackles in a row here. Now it's Mo'afa. He's swept around the back to charge onto that ball. He's brought down 35 out from his line. Samoa doing it tough this set and probably the last 3 sets combined. Haven't really made it out of their own half. And once again, a big kick needed. Looks like it's going to be equipped with it on the left-hand side. After a slow play of the ball, no, they make a mockery of me. Dane Blaine, he has to go downfield. Pretty good kick. Goes down to Raikamanu, his first touch of the night, straight past Brett Love, brought down by Michelle Metcalf or perhaps Dane Blaine. They have similar haircuts. It's starting to look, Bunce goes through a big hole there and offloads. Good pass out to Filippo Good. It's starting to look AMAC, a bit like the first half where New Zealand had a lot of early possession. Do you think Samoa can once again pull a few rabbits out of the hat?
Well, one of two things is going to happen here. Samoa is going to come through this meat grinder of an attack that the Kiwis are throwing at them, and they're going to turn the table and capitalize on a bit of a mistake here or there, or the Kiwis are just going to absolutely dominate them, and through no fault of their own, Samoa, just through their tired stamina, really. So if they can, here we go.
Yeah, just like that. Hugh Snow comes through with a try, chasing the kick, chasing his own kick, I believe, and he dots that one down. And that almost felt inevitable. You called it a meat grinder, Anthony. I have to say I agree. Just slowly tightening the valve over and over and over to increase the pressure. And eventually it was telling. So Samoa now, I think they just need to reset. They're going to have a chance to pin New Zealand in their own end off the kickoff, and they need to take it. They need to get their forwards to do some work and make New Zealand kick in a way that encourages a kick return from one of these very dangerous Samoan outside backs.
Yeah, and if you looked at the fullback just then, he was anywhere but where that ball was supposed to go. And again, I don't blame him. He must be exhausted at the moment. And it was one hell of a game to be thrust into that number 1 jersey for the first time in this tournament.
Yeah, you got to think if John Boy's back there, does he make that catch? That's the question.
I mean, I'd like to say yes, but hindsight's only 2020, so you can only work with what you got there, Snicker.
That's exactly right. It'll be up to Marvin now to kick us off again. Perhaps he's going to have a couple of big busts from that right-hand side that just prove us all wrong. But time is starting to dwindle for Samoa. 25 minutes left in this game. Down by 4 points. Someone needs to stand up. Who will it be? We'll have to wait and see as this game goes on. Kalsakau hit up off the kickoff there. He goes to Houston, back inside to Delaney. He pushes forward. He hasn't quite had the output that we saw from him a couple of games ago, but that's to be expected coming up against a much tougher forward pack in this Samoan team. And they're doing well here to keep New Zealand in their own half. Filippo Good now is driven backwards there. Good tackle there. I think that's Nanai. Pushes him backwards. Perhaps Kota Diab helps him out. Fourth tackle day. Look at a 40-20. They do. It's Hugh Snow, and he kicks it. I don't think he has the angle, but it is a terrific clearing kick. He just pulls up off the bounce, which it has. They're going to force Samoa to come out of their own in goal again. And Komene past one. Komene into the backfield. Bunce doesn't get him. There's the ankle tap, but Tiawa's back across in cover. A good work there from Rurira Komene. About time we see him enter the action, Anthony. We've been calling for it for quite a while.
Yep, and that's much, much better. That's some of the promise that John Boy has probably seen in the young man, putting him in that position tonight. If we can get a bit more of that, a bit more streaming off down the field, Samoa can get back into this game. But again, the Kiwis, they are freezing them out already, Nico.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen many line breaks at all this half from Samoa. So whatever Damo said to him at halftime, it worked. Oh, as Michelle Metcalf get out of the middle of the field. Kalsakau's doing damage right there. And if you're an outside back, you don't want to be coming up against him. And that's a stroker of a kick. Bunce cleans it up, and he's going to go streaming downfield. Picks up meters like they're absolutely nothing, as he's been doing all night, all tournament, and, of course, all his entire career as Columbus now is brought down there. He's just about 20 out from the line. Tala Amatangi plays a short ball to Kasaka. He's well worthy of a try. The only prop from New Zealand who hasn't scored yet, but he's been scoring with his shoulders in defense all night. Damian Wana offload to Delaney. Can he push forward here? No. Fourth tackle. They're going to have 2 shots left here. Where do they fire him? Through the middle of the field. Hit off the ball. Collins is away. Collins is away. Collins is going to run the field here. Samoa, they've done it again. When it looks like New Zealand are going to score, when it looks like the game is about to finish, Samoa find a way to get it done, Anthony.
Well, talk about a comedy of errors there. New Zealand look almost guaranteed to score that one. Somehow it comes off the head, a falcon ball straight into Collins, who, well, there was nothing but daylight between him and the try line there. So here we go. We've got about 20 minutes left in this game, and the Samoans, they're back in front, Snicko.
Yeah, Samoa, they just seem to, I don't know how, I don't know what's in their juice, I don't know what they put in their Gatorade, but when the time comes and they need someone to stand up, someone does. Just then it was Jai Collins, earlier Michelle Metcalf. The players, they're just seeming to unite for each other and challenge this New Zealand team in a way that no other international team has in this World Cup. They're up by 2 points here, 20 minutes left to play. This is when all the chips are on the table. Everyone's all in, Anthony. The question is, which way is it going to fall?
Well, I know we were going to play Keep and Cuff later on, Snicko, but this game is
Not anymore.
absolutely
It's too
electric.
exciting.
It's way too exciting. So at the moment, it could go either way. It's literally on a knife's edge here.
Yeah, I think just briefly we'll say keep New South Wales number 10, Nico Balbroa. Keep their 15, Anthony McDonald. Then we'll just pause it at that. Back to the game here tonight. It's Jai Collins after that magical run. Gets another one. He's into the backfield again, Collins. He can't do it twice, can he? No, brought down on the 40-meter line. Arsteta wanted more meters from him, and he's just peeled off about 140 of them in 2 minutes. As Simon Hunt back on the field in that prop role, he'll have a big job to play in these last 20 minutes to get Samoa going forward, because at the moment, they seem to just get stuck in their own half too often, with the exception of apparently Jai Collins, who can do no wrong, has now equipped with it, plays a short ball to John Nanai. He'll be off the field shortly. A great chance here for Samoa to put up a bomb, put up a bit of attack. It looks like it's equipped with it. He's swept around to the right-hand side. He puts up a bomb that's very, very well placed. It'll be Komene on the back. Should he get there? It is Komene, but great defense out there in that right center. I think it's Johnny Columbus. He's seen that one before, Johnny, and he was Johnny on the spot to make that tackle, Anthony.
Yeah, and notice how the Samoans, they pounced just as the Kiwi forwards are coming on and off the field. That's some really good heads-up play there. And, well, when Nanai's about to come off the field in about 2 minutes, they're going to lose one hell of a strong forward there. They need to use him while they've still got him.
Yeah, and I think that'll be Cavall to come back on the field. in his role who's quite good in his own right. So maybe we see some magic from him. I'm not sure as Moana goes forward here. 17 minutes left in this one, 2 points the difference, still anyone's game. Moana's going to play it to Thomas Wallace. He goes right, goes to Delaney. He can't get his fend working tonight. That's for sure. He was so good last week, but tonight the stronger Samoan forwards are just doing it very well as Almatangi is going to kick downfield. I will go down to Lenny Phillips. Haven't seen much of him tonight, but that's good for me. Lenny Phillips, Chance Bunce is on the bike here. There's a bit of gap between them. A few plays in backfield, but can he get a passway here, Lenny? There's a player on the outside. No, Chance Bunce rounds him up. 15 and out from his own line. Who needs a Samoan forward? The backs are getting it done. They're in great field position here now. Dane Blaine equipped with it, driven backwards. Great tackle. A moment to reset here for this Samoan attack. They're going to have a couple of tackles to play with. What can they do? Lenny Phillips filling in the middle of the field. Dane Blaine runs it. Brave man Dane getting back close to Kalsakau, although he will, of course, subbed off, so it's someone else there now. He knows what he's doing. Komine gets the inside ball for Vice Captain Pretler, brought down 9 out from the line. What can Samoa do here? Dane Blaine takes a run on the 4th, out of commission for the 5th tackle. It's going to be equipped with it. Can he put up another bomb? Can he put up a grubber? 2 pass out to equip with it. That's very well placed again. Komine, all eyes on you. No, the back doesn't work, but Columbus is going to be driven backwards there. And a line dropout, Anthony, out of nowhere. Samoa have remembered that they're quite a good football team.
Well, we were talking about the meat grinder earlier. They've absolutely turned this back on the Kiwis, and I think the Kiwis are at the moment finding it almost impossible to keep the Samoans back in their edge of the field. We've got all subs off the bench now. There are no more substitutions anywhere in the game. What is out there is what is out there, and it does not look like there's a lot of fuel left in the tank.
Yeah, it's Lenny Phillips now goes for another run here and gets the offload away. Lucas Deuce can't break a tackle, but once again, Samoa camped inside the opposition red zone. What can they do with it? Caval, he's going to go for a run so close to the line. Can they just get a crash play early in the set here? Jai Collins, he's not the one to do it. Great tackle there. David Tiara, I believe, drives him backwards. They're set up to the right here. That's where they go. Block shape. Ruri Komine filling in. He's going to play the ball here. He's not going to be there for the kick. Maybe a grubber. Equipped with it's lurking. What can he do? All eyes on the young star. And unfortunately, the New Zealand eyes were there as well, and they rushed him. He wasn't able to get the kick away. And it'll be up to New Zealand now to work it out of trouble, Anthony. Oh, that's terrific from Kumbolo. That's terrific.
Yeah, and again, that's just the difference between some of the veterans and some of the young bloods. The white line fever, it can take you something fierce. The Kiwis, they were just patient and they were a brick wall. Having said that, they need to get the leg out because someone needs to tell them they're still 2 points behind, Snicker.
That's exactly right. They need points here, the Kiwis, and it's Moana playing it. So far, a good set from them. Houston goes short side off the head. Cambolo, unfortunately, knocks that one on, and that is a chance to go on begging for New Zealand. Samoa coming out with the ball now. Unfortunately, yeah, Cambolo filling in that left prop position. He's been there quite a bit throughout his career, but he is unfortunately still a winger and didn't quite know what he was doing there as Komine is driven backwards there and a good tackle. They went 35 metres across there for a gain of about 4 metres, Samoa, but one thing they are doing is moving this defence around side to side, opening up the holes in the middle of the field. Who can take advantage of them? We'll have to wait and see. Simon Hunt now, short ball out to Jai Collins. It's Jai Collins again. Jai Collins on the inside. Jai Collins is a dead set superstar tonight. He is so good. That's his second try of the night. Who turns Chance Bunce inside like that? I don't know. Apparently the answer is Jai Collins. Samoa, 28 points to 22. They'll be up by 8, Anthony, after this kick.
Oh, and he was absolutely nowhere to be seen in the first half, Snicko, but somehow he's had a rev up from John Boy. He's come out the second half, and I think he's run twice as much as all the other Samoan forwards.
Yeah, 3 line breaks, I think. Probably close to 180 metres in his half alone. Terrific from him. Of course, he's a player historically that has been picked for Queensland, was snubbed, and apparently the right choice because they smoked us with their second rowers, but he's taken that to heart, and he's having an absolute blinder here tonight. It took him a while to get going, but hasn't he gotten going now? And now the Kiwis are well under pressure. 8 points in 10 minutes. Certainly not undoable. We've seen it plenty of times throughout the SRL, but it is tough. And against a Samoan team that has somehow found the will and found the strength and found the unity and clarity that apparently a John Boy team can provide, it's going to be very, very tough for New Zealand as Simon Hunt goes forward here. I think we need to see a big shot, Mac. We need to see a forced changeover. Who do you think it could be from New Zealand?
Oh, well, Kausa should still be out
It's
there,
all
shouldn't he?
locked, I believe.
Oh no, we're not going to get any more Kausa shoulders. Well, we're going to get some sort of wimpy little back doing a shot, I think.
Bunty
So I don't.
Cambolo.
Yeah, we're going to have Bunty Cambolo putting a shoulder in, which, it could happen. It could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. So they're going to have to rely on Samoa causing an error. And from the looks of things, the boys, they're throwing the ball around way too much for a team that's 8 points in the front.
Yeah, they just need to close this one out. But Samoa, they've been good all night with how they've played, and the outside backs especially. And Chuck Dry Collins in there, he has traditionally been an outside back, and just for tonight, we'll group it as one. They've been terrific in this second half, and if they can just make a good tackle here on MBT, they haven't. MBT, MBT's away, MBT's away. A great tackle, Dry Collins. It's Dry Collins again. Great tackle from him. I was going to say if I can get a good kick return here, the outside backs will just about have won Samoa the game. And perhaps I've gone too early here because New Zealand well back in attacking territory after that good run by MBT. Chance bunts now goes to him again, and he goes straight past one. MBT has decided he wants a World Cup final to add to his resume. He wants to try himself. New Zealand here looks like they're under a bit of pressure with the Samoan defense. Tiawa, so close. Fourth tackle. What can they do, New Zealand? They need to score just about now if they want to come back in this. And of course they do. It's Kobe Johnston back on in the 13. He's going to score here. We could have a 2-point game, AMAC, with 5 minutes left in this one. Can this game get any better?
Well, the only way this game could get any better is if there's a 2-point penalty and we have to go into extra time later on, Snicko. But
Oh, wow.
personally, I don't think either of these captains have the ticker to last another 10 minutes after this.
Yeah, that is for sure. Damien Moana, one of the most important kicks of his SRL 1.0 career coming up. Takes it to 2 points, eliminates the need for any further conversions should they score a try. He's going to want to kick this one pretty fast to keep the ball in play for as much as possible. And he does, straight down the middle of the sticks. The big fist pump. You love to see it. It means a lot to the Kiwi captain. Samoa now, they just got to hang on. 5 minutes left in this one, 2 points in it. You got to think next try wins, should there be one. Who do you think's the magic man for New Zealand, Anthony?
Well, Bunce. It's got to be the Silver Fox. This cannot be the last time we see Bunce playing in SRL 1.0. There is a lot of game left in the old man, but John Boy, the young blood, he is out and he is going to ruin the Kiwi fans here tonight if he possibly can.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. As Hugh Snow goes for a line break and an offload. Oh no, Manu, stay in. He does just that. They're playing expansive New Zealand, and actually, I quite like it. They need to get some points on the board. As now it's Thomas Wallace. He goes long ball out to Cambolo, but he can't do anything. They need a big run here. I think it's perhaps Kobe Johnson who could get him some meters should they get him the ball. Instead, Hugh Snow goes out to Tara Maxwell. He goes past one there. Great work from Tatari. Past Sean Metcalf. Fourth tackle here. They need a really big run here. They need something to put him in position. Moana takes it upon himself. Offload to Bunty Cambolo. They're going to have to punt here. They'll get maybe one set after this. So they're going to want a big kick here. Trap Samoa in their own half. And see what happens after that. Lenny Phillips is out to ruin that one, though. But no, great defense. Johnny Columbus again has his number. Samoa, they're going to have to work out of trouble. If they can get just one big run themselves, they'll just about win this game. Dakota Diab, we said he likes to run AMAC, and once again, not a dummy half.
No, having said that, it's been working for them tonight. Apparently, the best thing you can do for Kodar is to put him in the 9 jersey and then keep him away from the ruck.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that was a great little sequence there from Samoa. The offload for some more meters. Now, Maiava's into the backfield. What can he do? Bunce is catching him. And he gets the offload away to Kaval, but Samoa now, they're in great position. A try here will seal it for him. A try here will be a victory lap. What can they do? A quit with it. Goes to Combine. Is it his turn to shine? Combine, no, brought down. This is a big moment in the game. The moments do not get bigger than this. Who's going to stand up and seize it? A quit with it. Grubber, no, Moana into the backfield. But he's brought down a good tackle here. Now Samoa, tackle your heart out. This is the World Cup final for you right here. If they stop this set, that is everything. Kobe Johnson brought down 20 out from his line, a minute and a half to go. New Zealand might not even kick here if they don't get to the end. Samoa, Tiawa into the backfield now. Where's Bunce? Get Bunce on the ball right now. This is his time to shine. The fullback's out of play. Where do they go? Out to Almatanya. Inside ball, Bunce. But a great tackle. I think that's equipped with it. He's been great tonight, and that's a great work from him there. Fourth tackle, New Zealand. What can they do? Kobe Johnson, no line break. Samoa, Samoa are going to receive the ball here with 30 seconds left in the game. And I think that could be the victory, Anthony.
If you are not on the edge of your seat or standing right now, then you are not an SRL fan. If you're a Samoan, you need to get up and you need to scream because in 10 seconds, you guys have just won a championship.
Yeah, John Boy Maiava and his merry men of Samoans have caused an absolute boil over here tonight. 30 points to 28. And that is the World Cup to Samoa. Who saw that one coming? Not me, that is for sure. New Zealand, the ultimate professionals, are very gallant in defeat. To go down by only 2 points is very, very hard to take, especially considering the T1 versus T2 nation. But you'd almost call Samoa a T1 nation themselves. The way that they put their campaign together, the way that they got things done different ways each week. You think of tonight, Jumbo Maiava into the 12, and he tackled like an absolute demon. So good. Jai Collins, just about man of the match, I would say AMAC. 2 tries in the second half that ended up being match winners. You can take me through the stats because I need to take a breath. My heart is beating a million miles a minute. That was something else.
Well, when you look at these stats, unfortunately, and I don't want to drag him or anything, but it was a Moana misconversion that proved the
It's hard. So it was a
proved
cruel
the
game.
proved the end in the game. Even though the Kiwis had 51% of the possession, even though they had less tackles and more missed tackles and slightly more line breaks, it was just the Samoans able to capitalize on some of those errors. 18 completions to 22 completions. The Samoans, they were able to keep their cool, and even though they gave away a few little bits and pieces here and there, it was just enough to eke out a win against the Kiwis. So it's going to be exciting to see some of these stats, Snicker.
Yeah, as we just take a look at the individual stats, we'll go through New Zealand first. Chance Bunch, 295 meters, 9 line breaks. He couldn't have done anything more tonight to try and get his team over the line. One of the OGs of the SRL just really putting his mark on this one to say, when all said and done, and we're going to have those GOAT conversations, do not leave me out of it. MBT, 158 meters, 5 line breaks. And of course, he had the big one that got him within 2 points in the second half. Moana, 144 from the left second row. Houston, I thought played very, very well as well. A try assist, as well as 123 running meters with 3 line breaks from a 5'8". That is an exceptional output. And another player that definitely did all he's could to get his team over the line. Apart from that, though, the forwards just didn't really get going. Filippo Gould, 100. Kobe Johnston, 100. Kasukan, 90. They're big numbers, but I think that unfortunately for New Zealand, they might be looking at this one as the one that got away. We'll have a look at Samoa now. Yeah, Jai Collins, 209 meters. Just the resilience and tenacity that he showed in his game tonight was outstanding. 4 line breaks, 3 of them in the second half for 2 tries. I'm not sure if we do men of the matches for grand finals, but he would have to be up there. Michelle Metcalf, 176. Diab, 27 tackles for 2 missed. John Nanai, 29 tackles in his stint for 142 meters. Komene came to the party in the second half with 136. And then John Boy, 120 from the right second row with 21 tackles, none missed. Sabbath Dua, 86 meters. Dane Blaine and Equip Wither both show they like to run the ball tonight. I just think this Samoan team should be so proud of what they've done tonight, Anthony.
Yeah, now I just want to put Jai Collins up there. I want to put a bit of context into that. At halftime in his first 40 minutes, Jai Collins had run exactly 25 meters. And to come out the second half and post 209, I'd almost say that's the best half that someone in the 11 jersey has run.
184 meters.
Yeah, in almost all of SRL history, especially to get his team to win.
In a World Cup final against the Samoan team, against the New Zealand team with the class it had in the forward pack. You're right. It's just unfathomable. And he did it from only 11 runs as well. 4 line breaks and 11 runs. Just absolutely outstanding. Anyone else you'd like to highlight, Anthony, before we close this one off?
I also want to say a really well done to the young halves pairing. Equipped with it and Dane Blaine. They had a couple of missteps here and there tonight, but equipped with it with his 40-20s. They never really pop up on their stats, unfortunately, when we look at these sorts of things, but it's all those little effort plays. And when you've got a young halves pairing like that, steering your team around, you know you're in for one hell of a good game to watch.
Yeah, it was in a quick with at 40-20 that put Samoa back in the lead, if you recall. So you're exactly right. Didn't he have a game? Anyway, I guess now the question turns to Samoa versus Australia in a couple of nights. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyway, congratulations to Samoa. A great campaign. Cap it off with a terrific victory. That's all from us tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you later.